afternoon, everyone. This is actually a little bit later than our usual start time, so thank you for making the time to be with us here today. I am Raquel. I work with Change Labs. We are a native-led, native-controlled nonprofit organization based on Navajo. Since 2014, Change Labs has been providing entrepreneurial resources to Native entrepreneurs in New Mexico and Arizona. We started with a one-day workshop for entrepreneurs at the Dinan College in Shiprock, actually. And over the years, that event grew in size and impact. And then in 2018, Change Labs merged with the Native American Business Incubator Network. And then in 2023, last year, we established our co-working space here in Tuba City, which is where I'm at. We are dedicated to empowering Native entrepreneurs by offering innovative workspaces, essential tools, valuable resources, and the knowledge they need to succeed in their businesses. We are based in Tuba City. Change Labs created programs to strengthen the entrepreneurial ecosystem on the Navajo Nation. Our goal is to reshape societal norms around entrepreneurship within Native communities by cultivating role models, building a network of peer support, enhancing participant leadership capabilities, and then fostering, above all else, a vibrant community of Native entrepreneurs. And then here we have our remarkable team that contributes to making Change Labs the outstanding organization that it is today. And I really should put our contractors here on this sheet, if not another one. But if you have any questions about all of our roles here, please go ahead and let us know. Together as a team, we are committed to fostering the development and expansion of Native-owned small businesses. Our newly completed facility, or maybe not newly, we're a year old now, is conveniently situated on Main Street, just north of the Tonanitz's chapter house, and it serves as your ultimate destination for a variety of essential services tailored for our vibrant community of entrepreneurs and business owners. So if you haven't visited here yet, imagine a space equipped with desks, high-speed Wi-Fi, printing services. We have one-on-one business coaching sessions. We have workshops that we have here, all kinds of networking events, and a lot more. And so as we embark on this journey to support our Native entrepreneurs and business owners at our new eShip hub, our co-working services are always evolving. So your feedback is valuable in shaping this space to make sure that it meets your distinct needs of our communities. So if you have any suggestions on how our co-working space here of the eShip hub can better serve your business needs, please don't hesitate to share them with us. We want to make sure that this space remains relevant and impacts your business in the way that you want to see. And then we are thrilled to introduce this hub I think for a year now with a thoughtfully designed environment to nurture the growth and environment of your endeavors. And then touching a little bit more on our business coaching, we offer free, hybrid, and virtual and in-person appointments with our team of business coaches. Our coaches are available on Tuesdays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., each of them specializing in various areas of expertise to cater to your business needs. And for more information on each of our coaches, and to schedule your appointment, please visit nativestartup.org/events. And then our YouTube channel. We have curated over 100 recorded sessions and discussions specifically tailored for Native entrepreneurs and business owners like today's workshop. To access many of our past sessions, please visit the link here to our channel. And additionally, please don't miss out on any of our valuable resources on our social media platforms. We have our Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn being constantly updated with all the work that we're up to and activities that we're engaged with. So please stay updated on our events and initiatives through those sites as well. And then Res Rising, Change Labs has compiled a curated list of Native entrepreneurs and small business owners. So if you're interested in seeking Native service providers or products, our directory here features over 600 Native-owned businesses for you to explore. So visit resrising.org to see the list, and then you can also add your own business to the site as well. And then to give a little bit of a spotlight to our kinship lending program. Kinship lending at Change Labs is a micro lending program where we offer support of up to $5,000 for folks who are new to Change Labs. And then for our alumni members, up to $10,000 in funding. It's led by my colleague, Christine Laughter and Swarovski Little. This program provides comprehensive financial education curriculum and personalized business coaching for each cohort member. A recent kinship cohort back in 2023 featured 19 dedicated business owners who are set to receive over $156,000 in loans to strengthen their businesses. And then notably, oops, there's a fly. 14 of those borrowers are Change Labs alumni, which was extra exciting for us. The application for the next cohort will be opening soon here in the next few weeks, so please keep an eye on our social media. We have started marketing of providing information on the program and what it looks like for our cohort members that get accepted. And so please keep a lookout for the posting of when the application opens again. And for those who are interested in the possibilities of kinship lending, my colleague Holly here or myself are able to connect you with Christina Savosky. Just drop information in the chat if you'd like to do that. Otherwise, you can visit our website at nativestartup.org/kinship lending. All right. Now, before we get started with our guest speakers for today, I'd like to touch on our workshop etiquette and how we can be respectful of our guest time today. We do ask that you stay on mute during the presentation unless you're called on, but do please feel free to populate the chat with your questions and make sure to get them before the end of our session today. And then also another reminder, our session is being recorded today and will be available on our YouTube channel very, very soon. I don't have an exact date yet, but we will let everybody know once it's uploaded. Okay, and now to introduce our speakers today, we have Jose Yanez and Ashley Kelly. I'm sorry, Jose, if I said that wrong. Jose has over 20 years of experience in business banking, consumer banking, and relationship management. Jose has developed a deep passion for serving his community and helping small businesses thrive. Jose's ability to shift gears and guide business owners through chaos to achieve their strategic initiatives has always been a top priority for him. He is highly regarded for his financial management expertise and strong business acumen. This combination allows him to view a business with a wide lens, narrow down and identify key business drivers, understand complex issues, take action, and drive results. Jose is able to support entrepreneurs in achieving their goals by making business banking simple, and he brings access to a broader team of experts in areas such as cash management, credit solutions, and other business services. And then we have Ashley. Ashley has over 2 decades of experience in business and commercial banking. She specializes in supporting minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses, addressing obstacles such as limited access to information, procurement opportunities, and capital through personalized mentoring. Ashley is dedicated to advancing racial equity and equipping underserved small businesses in the Phoenix Valley area with tools and resources to enhance their financial stability. She has also been recognized for her impactful community work, including being honored with the 40 Under 40 award by the Phoenix Business Journal in 2023. And Ashley serves on the boards of the Arizona Hispanic Chamber of Commerce chapter, you can tell I'm Navajo, and the YWCA of Central Arizona, and contributes the advisory committee for Impact Arizona. So please join me in welcoming Jose and Ashley. It's been a while since I've done this intro. I'm so sorry. So Ashley and Jose, the floor is yours. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, that was a great intro, I would say. You made Jose sound like he is great and doing all the things, but that's still out for judgment right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks.
No, but thank you, Raquel, and thank you, everybody. We look forward to doing this workshop with you. And like she said, I'm Ashley Kelly, and we want you guys to get the most out of this as you can. So if you have questions, please let us know. We want this to be an open dialogue and for you guys to get as much as you can out of that. Jose?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, like Ashley mentioned. Yeah, I haven't heard my bio read in a long time, Raquel. I appreciate it. I was like, whoa, who is this guy? Yeah, I'm very proud of myself right now. But one thing I want to say, thank you guys so much. And like I said, this is your time, like Ashley mentioned. We really want to make this about you, we're here to answer questions. We both have a combined 4 decades of business banking under our belt. So we want to really give you guys the information, what you need. So a little bit about what we do. Ashley and I have probably one of the coolest, other than Jamie Dimon, who pretty much runs the bank, one of the best jobs at the firm. What we do at JP Morgan Chase is we are what we call senior business consultants. The very title, but really what we do is we just coach and we mentor small businesses on how to navigate the corporate world, the business world, the financial aspect when it comes to it. Sounds a lot of the great work that Change Labs is doing, Raquel and Holly and the team there. And this is exactly what we do. We just want to provide an additional resource, an additional step out to these business owners, out to you guys, these entrepreneurs and business owners, and just make sure they have all the information about what we do. I'll let Ashley tell you guys about the second part as I bring up the presentation.
Yeah. And so the second part is this. We get to do presentations and partner with community organizations to give you guys information that has not always been readily available to everybody. And that is what we want to do, because we want to see everybody be confident and to be able to navigate their business and have a good understanding of what to do and really create a solid foundation. So again, please ask questions. If you have anything that comes up, let us know. Again, we offer free consultation services too, and Raquel and Holly have our contact information. So if you guys ever need anything, or if there's any questions, or you just need some feedback, we're also here as another resource for you guys as well.
Absolutely. So today we're going to talk about taking your business to the next level. You know, we want to build that foundation. We call this business 201. I think it went out as in the presentation. But what this is, you know, if you are in the entrepreneur startup phase, this would be a great one, because we're going to talk about the different structures of businesses. We're going to go up to, you know, your vision, your motive, all that fun stuff that we're going to talk about. But if you're already in business, you're up and running, this would be a good refresher for you to kind of get your passion, kind of find out the why you're in business, what kind of motivates you, what makes you get up as a business owner and get going. And also we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna talk about business organization, the structure behind it. And it's a good thing for you guys to take a look at and make sure you're in the correct one. So Ashley, you want to get started off with the intro?
Yep. So there's Jose again.
Thank
And once I found my why, I was good to go. Each time out, the moment I understood what I was doing and why I was doing it was the moment I was finally able to make something happen. The why. I think that's really important for a business that's getting ready to start, or even a business that's already been established. What is your motivation to why it's starting? Is this out of necessity? Is this a passion? What is the driving factor? Because that always should come back of why you started, to kind of reignite that flame. And so think about this for you and your business. Why did you start? What was the reason you wanted to get into business? Was there a gap that you're trying to fill? What is that? Because when we talk about creating your foundation, and as you go along your business journey, there's going to be ups and downs. And when you're in that down part, you got to go back to your why. Why did I do this? Why was I motivated? So that's where it's really important for businesses to really to remember is your why. And then through this presentation, we're going to cover a lot of different topics. But the first one is think like an entrepreneur. Establish a foundation for business growth. That's really important. Your foundation is what is the anchor to your scalability, your growth, your versatility, how you pivot, all of those things. And then develop agility and resilience, right? Are you able to move? Are you able to bounce back? Is your foundation solid enough to allow you to be agile to move? And then putting people first, your clients, your customers. It can't always just be with us with our hand out, but what are we giving back to our clients? People do business with people, not the business, right? It's something to think about. That's what keeps people coming back. And then keep pushing. They keep going. So Jose, I'll let you take over the next one.
Well, thank you, Ashley. All right. So think like an entrepreneur, right? One of the biggest things that come to a business owner, and one of the biggest things that comes to even in our banking world, when we take a look at a business, if we're looking to extend credit, if we're looking to set up a business relationship, we want to make sure you got the right person behind the wheel, right? You want to make sure that a great business needs a great leader. Okay? Because at the end of the day, who is the business? Most of the people who start off is just themselves. There's nobody else. It's you're the entrepreneur. You're the only person there. So we want to make sure that you have the drive, you have the motivation, and especially you want to have the right mindset. We've said this many, many times. Entrepreneurship, as I sit here, I work for JP Morgan Chase. I am not an entrepreneur. I don't have that spirit. That's not who I am. So I applaud each and every one of you who have taken that step. But also you have to take a step back and say, okay, why am I an entrepreneur? What is the step? What is the mindset that I have to kind of grow for that business? So the reason why we bring it up for you as a business owner is because there's this flywheel in the center of your business. I don't know how many car mechanics or people who are aware with automotives, what the flywheel does is the centerpiece of your car that kind of moves everything around it, right? As that rotates, everything else in your car spins and moves around, which is essentially you. You are the leader. You are the person that we're going to look at to extend credit. Are you, do you have information? Are you knowledgeable about the industry you're going into, right? Do you know the market? Do you know everything you're doing? Because at the end of the day, as a lender, even if you are going to go get credit with the bank, or if you're going to go work with another company or try to get a client, they have to feel comfortable with you, that you know what you're doing, you know what your business is. That's why it's really important that you are the centerpiece of it. So like I was saying with the flywheel, at first it's very heavy and slow, but then as you spin it, as you get momentum, it gets easier and easier. And that's the whole thing about having your business in this startup phase, or even if you're up and running, you're really trying to grow it to the next level. It's what actions are you taking as a leader, as a business owner, that's going to get you the momentum and keep it going. I think that's one of the biggest things that we all really talk about is what habits are you building to make it go bigger and make it, are you coming out of your comfort zone? I think that's something Ashley and I talk about all the time, right, Ashley?
Yeah.
It's, are you getting out of your comfort zone? Are you looking for a different market? If you are located in northern Arizona, what about southern Arizona? What, is there a different market? Or should we, take a step over to New Mexico? These are all things that maybe you're not familiar with that market. These are all things that can kind of push you and build that momentum to take you to the next level. It's really important to understand that, so then you can demonstrate to not just your bank, but your clients, to your vendors, to everybody around you, I am the best person for this role. An ancient proverb, I don't know if you guys ever heard this, the fox knows many things, but the hedgehog knows one big thing. Okay. One of the things that we really want to talk about is, do you believe that you can grow with it, right? Do you have the mindset to grow? Because a lot of the time we do talk about people, especially entrepreneurship, do you have the mindset to, like I said, get out of your comfort zone and actually make things grow? The second part is, do you have the wherewithal to take some criticism, to take some feedback, right? Not all the criticism that we get is negative, but do you have that mindset that somebody can say, hey, you know what, your product is good, but it's not great, or how's it different from this, or what can we make it a little bit better? I think that's one of the big things when it comes to a business owner and their mindset. So you want to grow, a growth mindset works. This was a great study that this was back in 2022. Undergraduate students who participated in 30-minute growth mindset sessions were able to better protect themselves against natural stressors they encounter in their daily lives, right? This protection endured for at least 3 weeks after the session. So just taking that mindset to protect yourself, taking that mindset to grow, will actually, when those hard times come up, will make your life a little bit easier. Once again, a lot of the part that we're talking about today is you as the business owner. Are you ready? Do you have the mindset to go into this entrepreneurial phase, or keep going if you're already there? Okay. So personal growth can lead to your business growth. Like I said, you are the business. You are the business, right? So are you willing to embrace challenges? All right. Persist in the face of setbacks. Setbacks is huge. Right now, we see a lot of businesses that are unfortunately closing, especially a lot of restaurants. Okay, those are all setbacks with things that are happening in our economy and our world as we speak, right? So you want to make sure, can you persevere over that? View efforts as a pathway to mastery. What you're doing little by little. Learn from criticism is probably one of the biggest ones that we really want to talk about, because those are the ones that are going to make you grow, but it's also who's saying it and how they're saying it that can really help you as a business owner. And then look for lessons and inspirations in others. This is your competitor. If you look out there that there's people doing what you do and they're doing it to a level that you want to be at, can you learn from them? Rather than, sit there and maybe throw hate their way, can you learn from what they're doing and kind of help them out in that part? It all adds up. Okay. So there's a bunch of different concept when it comes to your entrepreneurial ones. Obviously, we talked about the why, which Ashley mentioned is a great thing to think about, and you have to go back, especially when times are tough. Like, why am I doing this? Maybe I have a family, maybe I have a passion, whatever it is, you want to keep that. The flywheel, which is keeping little things that first is strong, it's hard to start. And then once you get going, it's a great one. The hedgehog principle, the growth mindset, and obviously you want to have the grit to keep it going for you. All right. Know your purpose. Why does your business do what it does? Okay. This is a big one that we ask a lot of the time when we talk to business owners. Why are you doing this? Why are you getting in this? Maybe you can go get a cushy 9-to-5 job, but maybe that's not your purpose. You want to find out why. So it's very important for you to know why does your business do what it does? Maybe it's community driven. Maybe you see something in your community that you don't see, that there's a need for it. Write down your purpose. So one of the things in the workbook, I'm not sure if Raquel and Holly have got that out to you guys, but if not, we'll make sure to get this out to you after our presentation. But there is a workbook that will definitely help you guys out, just to kind of sit down there and write down a few words or phrases that describes the purpose of your business. Why does your business do what it does? And it's very important to write this stuff down, especially it'll help you when you're, trying to get everything settled down. But two, if you don't have a business plan, these do go into your business plan and do help you out. We want to see why it is, why what you're doing, define your mission. How does your business do what it does? What is the mission of the business? Where are you trying to get, and how do you do it? How do you accomplish that goal? Very important for you guys to know what your mission is. And obviously we're going to sit here and talk about your vision. Capture your vision. What's a big change you want your business to spark? Do you see a necessity in our communities? Maybe there's something that, why don't we have X, Y, and Z? Maybe that's where my business comes in. Write this stuff down so you'll have an understanding. And especially when it comes to your business plan or even your capability statement, you can come in there and say, hey, this is what's going to help us. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. Are there any questions on those three that a lot of businesses should have as far as your purpose, your vision, and your mission?
No.
All right. Perfect. Does anybody have this already written down and want to share kind of what your vision is and your mission for your own business?
I can go ahead. This is Melanie Spencer.
Oh, thank you, Melanie. Go ahead.
Hi. Yes, so my business is tourism, so tour operator. So our why was providing more of a cultural perspective to visitors coming from all over the world, visiting Antelope Canyon or parts of Antelope Canyon, just not only for the aesthetic beauty of the canyon, but also for a cultural immersion, because a lot of the feedback we heard from individuals was, I didn't really learn a whole lot from different tours that we went there. It's beautiful, but we want to know about the people. So that was our why. And the purpose that sparked our business perspective was to deliver that need. And there are numerous operators in the area now that have begun business in the area. However, we're different in the fact that we incorporate hiking, and we've got a little more personal time with the customer. So there's that personal relationship that we offer that no one else can.
That's it. And that's perfect. And I'll tell you, I visited Antelope Canyon, it was probably about 2 years ago. And I'm 100% agree with you, Melanie. It's beautiful land. Obviously, the I don't even know how to say it, the rock sculptures, sand sculptures, whatever you call them, they're incredible. But you really don't learn anything about that piece of, that part of Arizona that I think is missing a lot. So that's wonderful. So just explaining people don't know very much about this community. They don't know about why this is such a great place for it. So I think that's wonderful, and I applaud you. I know there's a couple of people in the chat that have mentioned about that they have this written down. If you don't, I would challenge you to write this down, and I think it's going to help you in the long run. But thank you so much for sharing, Melanie.
You're welcome.
Perfect. And then if for those who have it written down, or those who do have it, here's a quick little tips. Number one, put it on paper. I think a lot of us it's easier to put it on paper. You can focus on the big ideas of it. And then when you're working on it, find the things that evoke emotion. I mean, Melanie, when you talked about, you're doing these tours, but people don't know about the community, the people there. I think that's an emotion that was evoked there. Like, that's a great point. What do we know about it? And then imagine the future. What do these tours look like? Are we going to expand to other places? Are we going to expand to maybe New Mexico has some really cool things, right? So those are the things that we really want to write it down and imagine where your business is going, where you're going, be concise, and then obviously get input, right? Find out about the tours that are currently happening, but what else can we improve on them? What did you like? What did you not like? I think that's just going to make you a better rounded business, but also more people are going to come to you because this is what they're going to know. They're going to notice that different. So just if you haven't had that opportunity to write that down, talk about it. Now, obviously, as we talk about, the feel good story of the mission, the vision, and the purpose, we want to talk about profit, right? At the end of the day, it's great to get the word out there, but we really want to know, hey, how do we make money? So a lot of the big ideas, where does the money come in? Okay. Your vision is impossible without profit. Your profitability fuels growth, and profits can help you focus on what matters, right? These are the things that we really want to talk about and say, based on my vision, how is this going to be profitable? How can I make it grow? Because obviously this is how you grow your business, fuel that growth, and get your name out there. One of the other things, I went too far. On the workbook, and I think Holly or Raquel just put it in the chat. So if you have that, by all means, take advantage of it. On page 13 of this, it has a simple, what we call a SWOT analysis. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with it, but what it is, it stands for your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunity, and your threats, right? And then it's also broken down by internal and your external. Take a look at that, and especially if you have a business right now, think about what are your strengths. What do you, and I apologize, Melanie, I'm gonna keep using you as an example, but if you have the tour, what are your strengths? Is it maybe your hours are longer than anybody else? Maybe you have more of a cultural influence or focus that's really going to help you out. What are your weaknesses when it comes to that? Where are there opportunities for you to grow, expand, or even just be better at your current business? And then what are threats that can actually derail them? And the reason why these are fantastic is once you know what you're good at, you can kind of focus on it, or your strengths. But if you see threats, you can prepare for them. You can kind of work around it. Maybe if hey, in the summertime, Jose, nobody comes up here because it's just way too warm. Maybe how can I stay in business? That's a threat to my cash flow. That's a threat to my revenue. Something for you to think about. It's a great one. If you haven't had the opportunity, I know Ashley and I use this all the time. It's a great tool. But any questions on that first part? All right, Ashley, want to take us with part 2?
Yeah. So establish a foundation for business growth. We talked about understanding your why, your purpose, your vision, your mission. Now you have that. And it's something I would highly suggest that you revisit at least once a year, looking at that minimum, so that you can pivot when you need to. And business structure is so important, right? It helps with the liabilities, flexibility, controls, funding. You have to have an understanding and a plan for all those things. If I need funding, what do I need funding for? How do I control certain aspects of my business? Am I agile? Am I moving with the times, the environment, the economy? Those are things that are really important. That what Jose mentioned earlier was a business plan. This is where that comes into play, is if you have these things written out and you're looking at this once a year. A business plan is not just for startups and then you put it in a drawer and it goes away. It's something that should be a working document that you're continuing to look at, right? And we look at these things, we look at your business structure, like the actual premise of what your business is sitting in. So right now we're talking about a sole proprietorship. That is a single owner. It's simple, it's low cost, complete control of everything. You have the personal liability. So if something happens, it falls on you, and must pay payroll taxes, but can't deduct expenses. So we talk about these structures, and I want to just preference, we are not attorneys or CPAs, and we're not advising on what you should do. We're just strictly talking about our experience. And with the sole proprietorship, I see a lot of businesses when they're first starting, they start that way. But there's a lot of risk with doing that. Again, if something were to happen, someone wants to sue or something like that happens, it comes directly to you and to your personal assets. You have no protective mechanism that could help you, like save you basically and protect you. And that's what the purpose of having a sole proprietor, or I'm sorry, different LLCs or C corps, different things like that, is to protect you and to remove you out of the way. So that is just the business. Again, I would advise you speaking with a CPA or an attorney when you're going down that path, or if you have questions, because there's also tax strategies that goes all into that. But just something to think about. Sole proprietors are a little scary, you know, because it just leaves you very vulnerable. So we can go to the next one. A partnership. This is when you have multiple owners. It's simple, low cost setup. You have shared control with your partner. Partners are personal liable for everything. Same thing. So now it's not just you as a sole proprietor. Now you and, so this is like me and Jose, he's going to take 50% of the loss and the liability if something goes wrong, right? And then again, you must pay payroll taxes, but you cannot deduct expenses. And expenses are a good opportunity for businesses to have write-offs and different tax strategies. So again, talk with somebody, a professional in this area, to see what is best for your business based off of where you're at, your revenue, your tax strategy, what your plans are. But partnership is an option. And then we go to our next one is a C Corp. So this can have multiple shareholders on there. Setup can be a little complex and will require some professional help from like a CPA or an attorney. And I would highly suggest talking to someone before you just open up one. And then it has board of directors that have control over the company, and the owners are not personally liable. So this is where we're getting to the point where you're getting protected. This C Corp will protect you, your business, and separate you personally from that. So if someone comes after you for whatever reason or something happens, it falls under the business. And then there's potential for tax deductions, strategy, and different things like that that comes into play.
Ashley, what companies would typically fall under the C Corp?
I mean, it all depends, because I've seen a few. I've seen a lot, like, you know, Apple, Target, those are C Corps, large ones, but I've also seen smaller ones go to C Corp for tax strategies. So it all depends on what your business is doing, the revenue, how many employees you have. There's just all different strategies when it comes to that. It's not necessarily one that I would recommend out the gate for a newer business that's starting up. But again, I am not a CPA. I don't know all the laws and regulations. I don't want to know. That goes above my pay grade. But I would highly suggest you talk to somebody about that. And then we have an S Corp. This again can have multiple shareholders. It can be kind of complex. Again, you would want to work with a professional. Board of directors, owners are not personally responsible, and no corporate taxes, profits pass through as distributions. So there's just different ways of doing this based off of the revenue and the transactions that your businesses are doing. So the next one I would say is more popular, and you see a lot of businesses do this, is an LLC. This is easier to set up. You can do this sometimes by yourself. LLC owners fully participate in the business. Owners are protected from liability still. There's no limit on shareholders, and earnings are passed through to the owner. And here in the state of Arizona, there's not a lot of costs that are associated with creating your LLC. You can do that. You see this a lot more frequent with businesses at different stages of their business. And I would just say in general, as from my experience, I would say that if you're going to do it and you're making revenue, you might as well just go ahead and do it instead of doing a partnership or a sole prop. This way you're protected. It's all in there. It's not too complex. I feel like this is like the sweet spot when you're thinking about organization for your business. Again, refer to a CPA or an attorney. So B corporations. I've personally never really underwrote or worked with a corporation that does B, but any business structure can certify as a B Corp. Certification is public commitment to do good for people, communities, and environment. So that's what that falls into that. not as popular. You might want to, again, talk to a CPA. They might tell you this is good. Maybe if it's a nonprofit, different things like that. There's different ways of doing that. So in the workbook that you have on page 17, it'll walk you through the structure of businesses. Like, where do I fall under? And then you go through and you'd look and see, where do I have most of my X's? Maybe this will be a good indicator that I should be an LLC or an S Corp or a C Corp. But again, when you talk to a CPA, but look at where you're at. And I see a lot of businesses that might start from a sole prop, then transfer into an LLC, and then transfer to an S Corp or a C Corp, or however it's evolving. Just because you pick one doesn't mean you're stuck with that one. You can change and it evolves as your business evolves. So I would take a look at this and see where you fall in and make sure you're in the right structure. And if not, I would seek, I'm sure they have partners with change labs that could help walk you through that to see that you guys are in the right structure for your business, so that you guys can grow and have a good solid foundation when you're starting or even in it. And then another one I think is really important when you're thinking about a business is streamline your operations. When your operations run steady in your business, it's easier to push the flywheel. It's having certain things in place, right? We looked at our why. We're doing our business plan. We're creating plans. We have our right structure, right? And it makes a big difference when you're organized. You know, you find the right space. Where do I show up for my customers? Where are my customers at? Who is my customer? Understanding that you are marketing, you're showing up in those correct spaces, that you're going to get the most engagement and get more return for what you're putting in. And then establish a customer support system. So if you're out there talking with customers and they have questions, how do they get a hold of you? How can they email you? How do they talk? How do they contact you? How are you supporting your clientele and the products and services that you're providing to them? And that is, again, something we should be looking at on an annual basis, so that we're evolving, we're changing, or if something's working great, we're amplifying it. If it's not, how quickly are we pivoting from that? And then develop a file storage and sharing system. That is so important. I was working with a business and they did everything in a notebook. They wrote down all their expenses, everything. And I see a lot of businesses do that, which is fine because I'm a hand to paper type of gal. I get it. But it helps keeping things organized if you have an electronic system where you can put things in when you get your taxes or you're filing for your QuickBooks and your financial statements. You have them in place so you can share the information easily in between if you have employees, so your CPAs, your attorneys. It helps create efficiencies. You want to create efficiencies, and so that it's not taking so much manpower from you as the owner. And then managing your books. That is probably the biggest, I would say, downfall a lot of businesses that I've seen, is that we're not managing our books. We're not taking account of truly what our business is doing. And that, to me, is the most powerful thing a business can have, is to understand their financials and understanding how their cash flow is running in and out of their business. Because then you can have different conversations. You know, when you're needing things, you can pivot quicker. And if you're not on a financial accounting system, I would highly, highly recommend that you start looking into that. Or if you're in a position where you can hire a bookkeeper, somebody that can provide a profit and loss statement where you can see what your business is doing on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis. Because once you figure that out, you now have the power and you can move more effectively, more efficiently, and you know, the threats that Jose was talking about earlier, you can kind of prepare for them versus it blindsiding you. And then schedule effectively, right? Do you have an admin day? Are you posting on certain days? Do you have a schedule for your staff? What does that look like? A lot of people get into entrepreneur and like, I'm working for myself. I got this. I'm good. But no, we still need to have a schedule so that we stay on task. We know what to expect. Our audience knows what to expect. And then also, when we start doing that and you're managing your books, you can then start planning for taxes. And talking with an accountant or a CPA, knowing that, okay, I'm going to have to pay XYZ, so I need to do this. I can start putting money away. So at the end of the year, when you're going to pay your submit your taxes, you don't have a huge bill or you're not prepared for that. So getting organized and creating that foundation so that we're moving more effectively. You can go to the next slide. And then find your roadmap. To me, this is your business plan. I know I keep saying that, but this is a business plan roadmap, right? Map processes and workflows. Start by taking inventory of every aspect of your business and steps to complete each activity. If we're looking at doing a marketing strategy, what is that about? What is the strategy behind that? You know, what are we looking at? Maybe it's quarter one, we're going to do this. Quarter two, we're doing this. Quarter three, we're doing this. So quarter four, you know, have a plan to what you're doing. And I would highly suggest you re-looking at your business plan around fourth quarter, going into the first quarter of the coming up year. And then that way, taking inventory and understanding what happened the previous year. That way, again, we're moving more efficiently, more intentionally, more effectively. Super important.
Actually, you keep bringing up the business plan. How many people here have applied? Maybe if anybody here has applied for a grant. Has anybody here applied for a grant? If you are looking
Yes.
for one, oh, who said yes?
Melanie.
Welcome back, Melanie.
Hi.
Did they ask you for a business plan?
Some of them did, yes, and they do want to. Some of them do have ask for your financials, your profit and losses, your cash flow. Yeah, they will have ask for those documentations.
Yeah, for those who don't have one, actually, they're absolutely right. We really need to focus on having that business plan, because if you are going to be looking for any additional resources, any additional funds, grants like that, they will ask you for the business plan. And it just shows that you're organized and you have an idea, but just something I really want to focus on. But keep going, Ashley. Sorry about that.
You have it readily available. No, I think that was a great ad. And then when you have that, it's a place for you to keep your own data. You then can analyze what you're doing, how you're going to move forward, and then use the data to make changes. Once you've quantified what is falling short and you have awareness of it, instead of ignoring it, we're not hiding from our problems or the things that humble us a little bit. We're facing it head on so that we can set realistic goals and that we can hit those goals, right? And understand, am I on the right track? Am I not? Because we're all going to do things that are not probably in the right order or going to be super successful right away. But the art of that, of changing that, is being able to pivot quickly, right? Everything's not going to be perfect and we're going to try a lot of things, but how fast can you pivot from that situation? That's why you need to create the business plan. We're looking at that and looking at all of those things so you have your roadmap. It keeps you stable. So when the stuff does hit, you don't get completely knocked over. You might get shooken a little bit, but you're not going to be completely wiped out. You can go to the next one. And then business model canvas. This is a great tool. It's on page 21 of the workbook. You know, it kind of just goes over your operations. It talks about your business model. What is making your business work? What's working? What's not working? What do I need to amplify? What do I need to pivot from? This is a great tool to kind of dump this information, or you can put this in your business plan as well. Jose, this is you.
I got you. All right, so let's develop agility and resilience, right? We've seen how important it is to build a business that can adapt quickly, right? We learned that, you know, that pandemic thing that hit us a couple of years ago, well, 4 years ago now, we had to see a lot of businesses pivot and really adapt a little bit more. So think about this to yourself. What is your top priority right now for making your business more agile and resilient? You know, are you going to build a bigger cash flow buffer? You know, you want to have a little bit more money, a little bit more secure. Maybe you want to secure new capital. Maybe you're looking for a loan. Maybe you're looking for a new contract. Maybe you're looking for a new opportunity with your clients, right? We can talk a little bit about improving your cybersecurity. We can talk about that. If you are an online business, you know, e-commerce, that's something that we definitely want to talk about. We hear about that all the time. Find new customers, new revenue streams, right? Invest in tools and equipment to meet your future needs. Maybe you're going to go after a larger contract. And if you're a construction company, maybe you want to build that and make sure you have those tools ready for you. Or you want to strengthen business relationship, right? Really take a moment and think about, what is my next step for my business? What am I going to do? Because that's actually one of the biggest things that we're going to talk about. Okay. Another great 2023 Business Leader Outlook survey said 75% of business owners anticipate a need for financing to fund continuing growth, expecting those funds to be put towards purchasing inventory, working capital, and hiring. right? So really have that plan, really have that focus and say, what am I going to do for Q3? It's going to be crazy, but we're already more than halfway through the year. So we really want to think about, okay, what is my fourth quarter going to look like? What are my tax implications? What am I going to look at? Do I need to show revenue so I can go get some funding? Right? Not just sitting there and saying, hey, I'm going to deduct everything so then I don't have to pay taxes, but really think about, hey, we want to show some revenue because I am going to go to a bank or to a lender and say, hey, I need money for working capital or hiring people, whatever it could be. Investing in technology is always a really big important one, and saying, the right tools can help you with everything. So investing in technology and investing in the right equipment and knowing when you're ready to invest. On page 23 of your workbook, it really does give you the opportunity to write down all your inventory for all your technology and your business uses. It's also great because it also allows you to write everything down that you will want or you will need. If you sit there and go through your day-to-day operations, you know what, Jose, if I had a bigger oven or commercial kitchen for my food, for my, food truck, whatever it could be, that's going to really take you to the next level. And it really gives you an opportunity for you to sit down and see exactly where your business is at. We did talk a little bit about cyber threats. For larger companies on the ones that are being attacked, they are stealing information. This is big if you're in e-commerce. Right? As your consumer, we don't want to go to your website and then all of a sudden, we put in our credit card number, we put in our, home address, all that good stuff. And then all of a sudden you get an email a couple, months later saying your information has been compromised. Because at the end of the day, that is the reputation that your company is building, what people are going to remember you for. So it's very important to that. And as you go through these cyber threats, you go through all these securities, talk to your local banks. Especially if you're doing e-commerce, your merchant services, they will actually have a couple products for you to help you go ahead and just be a little bit more protective when it comes to it. Because your cybersecurity, there are essentials. Educate and train. It keeps changing, keeps evolving. Accesses vulnerabilities. Those are the ones that we really pay attention to. Pay special attention to emails, right? A lot of fake fraudulent emails are being sent there. What do we call it? Phishing. Those emails do exist, so we want to be careful and make sure, not just yourself, but your staff and anybody else working with you, make sure they're not, giving away free information. Review your payment procedures. This is, like I said, this is big for the e-commerce. Make sure you have a secure site. Make sure that when you are making those processes or people are paying for whatever your product or services is, that it is secure. And also do a plan for your worst case scenario. What if your email does get compromised? What if your website gets compromised? How are you gonna relay that to your clients? How are you gonna work on that a little bit more?
I was going to tell somebody really quick, tell you guys, there are options through business insurance that they have stuff for cybersecurity. So it's something, if you're doing that like e-commerce, I would ask if you already have business insurance, see with your insurance provider if they offer that type of coverage, because that can help too. They can cover cost if something takes over your system and you can't process. So there's just another option. That was it.
No, that's a great ad. Thank you, Ashley. So a couple other things that we want to talk about to make your business a bit more efficient, develop, and be agile is using digital banking. Okay, this is a great way for you to kind of, manage your accounts, pay attention to them. If they are compromised, if you've had fraud on your account, your digital banking obviously gives you the best idea because it'll allow you to monitor your accounts, even set up notifications. You can get new data on customers and kind of see your cash flow, see where you stand with it. One of the best things on here is integrates with your accounting software. For those running right now that have a business and they're selling, they're making transactions, one of the biggest things that I recommend for everybody is to have your online banking connect to your accounting software. And typically that happens with QuickBooks. Your online banking will actually talk to your QuickBooks, and then all the information from your online banking, your transactions will actually get imported directly into QuickBooks. So you don't have to go in there and key in every transaction. It's a really great service. Talk to your bank. They will actually do it for you. And I guarantee you your accountant or your bookkeeper or CPA will love you for that. It's just such a good time saving that's I don't think enough people take advantage of. So for those that are doing like even Melanie, like I said, with the tours, take your business online. If you don't have a website, if you don't have your booking, or maybe it's just a generic one, think about that, because nowadays that is the front door of your business, right? Taking your business online is very important, because where are your customers? If I'm going to do a tour, I can tell you when I did my tour, first thing I did is I went online and tried to find a tour and booked it and made it very simple, very easy when I did the Antelope Canyon one. But what platform do you need? You want to pay attention to, right? How will you take payments? Talk to your banks, talk to merchant providers. Your banks is probably the easiest one for you to go to, because they will have their own processing system that can actually link to your website. But talk to them and then talk about their rates and your payments, how that's going to look at, because you can actually negotiate your credit card processing rates. And then how will you list your products or services online? Make it easy for the client to go ahead and reserve a tour and make their payments. I think it's just going to take your business to that next level. Ashley, you want to tell us about putting people first?
Yes.
No, you don't put me first.
The big one for me. We have to look at the people we're serving, right? 82% of business leaders agree having engaged and committed employees is critical factor for business survival in today's operating environment. So looking at the people that we're working with and the people that we're serving, how are we treating them? As a leader, because you are the leader, how are you engaging with your employees? How are you engaging with your clients? Do they feel seen? Do they feel heard? Are they a part of that? I think that's really important, because it costs more money to hire somebody outside versus looking at what you have within your company and promoting within, right? Assemble a team of doers. Look for work ethic and vision, collaboration. Do they work good together? Is there a diverse group of people that you're working with? Because diverse people, and I'm not just talking about racial diversity, I'm talking about all kinds of diversity. Maybe they have different backgrounds, they grew up in different places, they have different things to bring to the table that can help with innovation and creativity and growing in different ways, right? People who make up for your weaknesses. A good leader understands that they can't do everything. They understand that they get the right people around them to then lift them up, and then you guys all succeed, right? And then people who are hungry to succeed. The biggest thing is for business owners is that you can't always guarantee that you're going to make the right hire, right? There's nobody that's going to make always the right hire. But how are you letting go and pivoting is key. How quickly are you seeing this is not working, this is not a good fit, they're not aligned with my mission, my vision, my why, the growth of the company. So how am I pivoting to make a change? And then also, how are we engaging with our clients? Are we putting into them, or do they feel engaged? Do they feel like they're being seen? Do they know what's going on? So I think it's really important to really remember that we need to connect with people as people and treat them as such. We can go to the next one. And then build an attractive workplace. Most people are looking for more than a paycheck. They want to feel a part of something, right? They want to see that they feel valued. They want to be seen. That is super important. And how are we pouring in? Are we training them? Are we uplifting them? Are we being empathetic? I'm not saying they need to run all over you, because you still got a business to run, right? But what opportunities are we getting for them to grow and for them to shine as well? Those are things to always think about. So what are your corporate crushes?
That's a hard one.
Stumbling.
That's a hard one.
Crushes. What's your favorite brand and why? What brands that other people like but leaves you cold? Like, think about that. How do people perceive your business? How do your employees perceive your business? How do people feel when they're seeing your brand? Like when I go to Chick-fil-A and they're always like, my pleasure. I'm like, oh, that's great customer service. Like, right? Like my pleasure, like things like that. How are they engaging with your customers, and how do they feel working for you? Do they feel like you're more a dictator and they can't talk to you? Like, sometimes we have to take that and take the criticism that Jose was talking about and taking the feedback and adjusting. We're not all perfect, but if we try to strive to do better and think about their competitors or other brands that are doing good things, how can we emulate that? How can we do something similar? Because that stuff is important.
For me, my corporate crush is Q10 Quick Trip.
Yeah, because they have
They're,
multiple registers at one time and they're like
they're
moving through
so
and it's shaking.
fast. Their bathrooms are clean. So like they're just fantastic. That's my corporate crush.
Work with professionals, CPAs, attorneys. We talked about that. I call them trusted advisors, bankers, marketing professionals, IT serves, and more can help grow your business to move in big ways, right? Budget for it, plan for it, see what you need in your business plan, your roadmap. Wink, wink. It comes back around, right? Like having a plan so that you can bring on these people, but thinking about who's supporting you. And the connect with influencers. A network of mutual benefit can open a lot of doors. Are you collaborating with others? Are you getting other people to like your stuff, share your stuff? That's really important. It shouldn't be threatening. It should be more collaborative work of how we can all lift up each other and work together. I think you see bigger impact when you do that versus trying to do everything on an island. Sorry, I'm moving kind of fast. I know we're at the bottom of the hour. And then another option is certify your business. Minority-owned businesses can tap into networks of opportunity and corporate supply chain. It can take a couple, tries to do it, but it is a good opportunity to get your minority certification. There's women business enterprise certification. There's 8A government contracting certification. There's veteran certifications. There's certifications for LGBTQ plus. I know I'm missing some, but there's a ton of certifications that bigger corporations would like to see the businesses have and to do business with them. So it creates just more opportunity for your business. So things like that you should be looking into.
Absolutely. Huge one. Huge one. I would say look into that. So now we get to the last part. And obviously, we want to tell you keep pushing, right? Keep going ahead. Keep ready. Oh, look at this last slide, Ashley. Ready to update your business plan. Wink, wink, wink again, right? We really want you to focus on that and take advantage of this business plan because everybody's going to ask you for it. And it's also going to be great for you. Like Ashley mentioned, it's not just for startups. It's not for people who've been in business for less than a year. It's for everybody. It's a living document. It'll describe your legal structure. It'll, update your executive summary, reconsider your competitive landscape, and reimagine your strategies for marketing and selling to your customers. Your business plan will literally help you guys with whatever you would like to do. Raquel just put something really cool in the chat for those who haven't looked at it. If you like access to native professionals, CPA lawyers, let Holly and Raquel know. They have great listings. And Raquel, I'm going to follow up with you on that one because I have a couple businesses I work with that could definitely fall in. But take advantage of these resources. Take these business plans; they can help you. You and your business are worth the investment. Make sure you push forward. But we really want to thank everybody for joining us today. Ashley, I think we just barely made it 2 minutes over the time allotted. But we want to thank everybody so much for joining us. As we get here to the end. Are there, Ashley and I, like I said, we want to go ahead and talk about any questions, anything, maybe you want to share a story of something that you come across and maybe looking for some guidance. We are here to help you. Thank you so much for everything, guys.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So, are there any questions for Ashley and Jose while we have them online?
And we're available later. So if you go home, rest, eat, take care of what you need to take care of, and you're like, I should have asked that. Feel free to email us. We're available. So we want to be another resource for you guys. So if you have questions later, we're always here.
Absolutely. Well said, Ash.
Thank you, Ashley. And then let me share the link one more time to the workbook.
Thank you, Melanie.
This is the workbook that Jose and Ashley have shared with us and that you all can tap into. And then, Holly, are there any comments or questions that you would have?
I have a quick question. I know I started talking on mute. Do you guys help with certifications and any of that fun stuff?
We do not currently, but we do have a network of really great professionals, especially native professionals, that we can link or connect anybody to. Perfect.
That's fantastic. We also assist with that. So if you guys have any questions on it, we'd be more than happy to kind of put you in the right direction, find out which certification will work best for your industry, and obviously which one you fall under.
Okay. It looks like Robert is asking if there's a software that you recommend in bookkeeping.
Is there a what?
A software.
A software.
I will say obviously the most popular one that everybody knows is QuickBooks. But there's a desktop version where you actually like download it to your laptop, all that fun stuff. Depending on the size of your business, probably wouldn't recommend that one. There is a cloud-based one that you can access from any computer. Kind of think of it like online banking. That's probably the most popular one, the easiest one. And like I said, for most banks, they actually connect and they talk to each other. So it makes it really easy for your bookkeeping, all that fun stuff. It just brings everything in, and then it just helps you. All you have to do is go in there and categorize it. And one of the reasons why I say it's very important, especially if you're a startup, if you let your CPA do that, they charge you for that, because of the time. But if you do it for them, then there's some money saving opportunities there for you.
There's also a one that's kind of like just like a step down. They still do the same things, just not as maybe robust. It's called Wave. A lot of newer businesses use that, and I think that's a good one. And it just has a better price point too.
Yep. Good question though, Robert. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Wave is an application that our kinship lending program actually works with. So Robert, if you have any questions too, reach out to Christine. I believe she'll be able to answer a lot of really great questions that you would have. And then there is another chat or message in the chat by Akila. She said that she'd be interested in getting certifications. Akila, did you want to share a little bit more information about your business so that Jose and Ashley can give you some tips or resources?
Sure. Yeah, Glittering World Girl is Native women owned, and we work in different aspects of media. So we do XR technology, which is virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, video production, and social media marketing. And we also focus on using these mediums, language and culture revitalization.
I would look at there's the minority certification, but there's one that I really like. It's WeBack West. It's a Women Business Enterprise certification. I can send all of that over to you, Raquel, a couple of the links, and that way you can do it. And they have classes every month where you can learn about certification. You can speak with somebody and they tell you the benefits of that. And also it's a great networking opportunity as well. But I can send both of those over to you, Raquel. And if you want more information or Jose and I to talk about that in a different class or just to go over that, we're happy to do that. But I'll send that over to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Right.
the
Thank you.
network opportunity I think will be one of the best parts about those. And obviously you can meet larger corporations, see if you can work with them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, thank you. And then we have a comment by Heather. Heather says, I own Big D flooring and Dolce based Tippy lodging and just starting tours.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Did you have any questions, Heather?
Not right now, multitasking, trying to get stuff done. So I'm just listening in right now, but thank you.
No worries. Thank you. We are just wrapping up. So if there aren't any other questions, I will go ahead and move on to the next part, which is just the closing. Let me share my screen really quickly. All right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jose and Ashley, for presenting today. It was a really great session. I enjoyed it. If you have any questions, everybody in the audience, for Jose and Ashley, or even Holly and myself, Holly is my colleague here at Change Lab. We both co-lead our ESS Entrepreneurship Support Program here, which includes our physical space of the eShip Hub, as well as our online tools, such as our workshop right here, right now, and then our incubator program. So if you have any questions about any part of our programming, please feel free to reach out to Holly and I. Our emails are here on the screen. And then I hope you all are able to join us tomorrow for another great session led by Jose and Ashley, starting at 11 a.m. That's going to be daylight time. We're going to be talking about the power of capital. So if you have time to join us, registration is going to be free. It is free at nativestartup.org/events. Jose and Ashley will be leading the session, covering how to think strategically about cash flow. I'm trying to say that in the same word. To ensure smooth and efficient business operations, we'll be exploring when and why you might consider borrowing capital and how to make informed decisions on borrowing. So we'll be starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. The link is up for everyone to get registered. And yep, that's all we have for today. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Ashley and Jose, one more time. I hope we see you all tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you guys.